Two teams from opposite coasts collide tonight with a similar trajectory. The Riverhounds pounce into Oakland with a league best 5 consecutive wins, but the Roots have fended off defeat for the past month. This is the USL Championship on ESPN+. Hello and welcome. I'm Brad Klein alongside Jose Rodriguez. Very happy to be with you. Let's take you to the table and see where the Roots sit right now above the playoff line. Now, they only have one loss since April 23rd. Jose, something's going right in Oakland.
Absolutely. You know, Noah Delgado has been able to put in place a system that everybody feels familiar with, that everybody understands. They all feel comfortable, and they're showing it on the field, and that's why they're sitting in 5th place with 21 points and actually competing for the first 3 spots in the Western Conference.
Life is also easier when you have Formella on your side. Darek Formella is definitely one of the leaders.
Well, Formella brings a lot of quality. Lately, he has been able to help a lot in the build-up, and that's something that Noah Delgado likes a lot. He has been able to score as well, so doing a little bit of everything, but doing it right. And that's exactly what's happening with Formella this year, probably having one of the best years in USL Championship in his career.
Meanwhile, one of the best players in USL Championship history, that's Kenardo Forbes. He has the assist crown right now, 60 all-time.
Well, you always have to be aware of where Kenardo Forbes is, and you know, he's always looking for an outlet, and usually when he's able to connect with his teammates inside the box, that usually means a goal. So defensively, you have to be well aware of what he's trying to do and what the plan is for him.
At this time, we take you to starting lineups brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. And now for Oakland, they come in and they're sporting a bit of a different guy in the lineup. Look out for Jacil Cedeno, acquired in a transfer that sent Edgardo Rito out east to Hartford, but Cedeno, he's key.
Yeah, most likely a 3-4-3 formation here for Oakland Roots. Peláez gets an opportunity at the top, Formella on the left, and Feck on the right. And you mentioned Cedeno. Man, that kid is a lot of fun to watch, so I'm sure you'll enjoy a full 90 minutes of brightness from this kid.
Now Cedeno is going to have a tough test. He faces, get this, look at the bottom of your screen, Luis Zamudio is on loan from DC United with Jamali Waite playing for Jamaica, getting ready for Gold Cup.
Absolutely. Pittsburgh, a very solid team defensively, especially when they play on the road. Look for them to, you know, play solid out of that 3-man backline, but, you know, at times making it a little bit of a 5 even tougher to defeat. And at the top, Etu, Forbes, and Kisa, man, they're tough to deal with.
We're getting closer and closer to kickoff between Oakland and Pittsburgh. Don't go anywhere. Kickoff on the other side here on ESPN+.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, empowered all athletes to improve physical health, and expanded health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community, together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
My name is Ed, and I live in San Leandro, California. I've always been concerned about being prepared and being on a medical baseline where I have a CPAP machine. I was wondering, will I be able to keep that thing going? I got an email from East Bay Community Energy, and they mentioned a rebate about getting an electrical generator. So I went for it. East Bay Community Energy has been great. They're doing a job to help our environment, and I think they're really supportive.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't many adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Dejando para Enfeca. ¡No se metió! ¡Balón adentro, golazo!
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, UCSF, and Modelo. Back here at Pioneer Stadium, as you can see, we are very close to kickoff. Oakland hosting Pittsburgh in a key USL Championship battle. Bit of a manifest destiny duel here, East versus West. I'm Brad Klein with Jose Rodriguez. Happy to be with you. Both teams in really strong recent form. Oakland with 3 consecutive matches without a loss. Pittsburgh has 7 consecutive lossless matches. And the injury report brought to you by UCSF Health and UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals. Donaciano, he's been out since April, but Albert Diqua has 9 goals tied for the Golden Boot. He's a big absence.
It's a big miss for Pittsburgh, and they had a good Open Cup run, and unfortunately, it was not only tiring in terms of putting out there the same starting 11, but as well, the tournament left some injuries for them. And so Diqua not being in the lineup tonight is something that Oakland should take advantage of and be aggressive from the get-go.
The question is, how does Pittsburgh get some scoring without Diqua in the lineup, because that is one of the primary scorers in the league?
Well, you have to look at the build-up. The team for Pittsburgh, the team effort is always going to come first, and you don't want to rely on one player, but when you have a player in Diqua that has scored 9 goals, it brings confidence, and you're definitely going to have to work really hard to get there. Obviously, with Diqua on the field, things get a little bit easier.
Farrell launches for Edward Kitsa, slows it down, and now Pittsburgh trying to get something going early on against Oakland. Booted away by Paul Blanchette, who is tied for the league lead, 44 saves. Here's a good ball ahead. Got contact in the box, but no call.
Man, that was very, very close. I think there was some contact there, but I don't know if it was enough for a penalty. It's a little bit early in the game.
Nifty move by Mfeka, working to Matsoso. Pittsburgh not opposed to scoring early. Last week, Junior Etu with a goal 21 seconds in to start what would be a 2-0 win over Charleston. That's a Pittsburgh record, 21 seconds.
Well, that's a solid start, and a little bit more consistent to what we have seen from Pittsburgh with Diqua on the field. So they're finding their ways, and it's going to take some time. But I think they're working, with the right intensity. They again have a good system, just like Oakland does under Noah Delgado. So should be a fun match here tonight.
A challenge for Kevin Wright in the corner, but Wright can't do it himself.
And Kevin Wright getting the opportunity to start here tonight with Brian Tamacas gone for the Salvadorian national team. He'll be playing Gold Cup in a few days. And we'll know about Edgardo Rito now being away and moving on to Hartford. So that opens up opportunities, right? Usually not a starter. So tonight is a very important game for him because he's given the opportunity and he needs to take advantage of it.
3rd start on the year, but only his 8th appearance for the Roots. Saw the kick there by Luis Zamudio. Be interesting to see what the Riverhounds get out of him on this month-long loan from DC United. It's actually his first appearance of the year. Wasn't playing for the MLS side last year with Loudoun. A nice tackle there. Dos Santos keeps it for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh comes in as one of the top teams in the East. And the 5 consecutive wins matches, a club best since joining the championship side. And they're trying to get it ahead. But instead, a goal kick for Paul Blanchette, the Palo Alto, California native in his 3rd season with Oakland. Noah Delgado's been very happy with him. Blanchette's shot-stopping ability. And he says he expects about 1 big save from Blanchette per game. Mark Ibarra could not keep it for the Riverhounds. Here comes Mfeka. So Jose, right now the Roots on their 3rd 3-match unbeaten streak of the year.
Yep.
What do you think they've been doing right to get them here?
Well, I think there's the understanding of the system, and I've been saying that for a few weeks now, because you know it's one thing to have a system that everybody understands, but it's also important that every single player on the roster feels comfortable with it. And I think Noah Delgado and the coaching staff, they have been able to accomplish that. And it's very early on in the season. And we have seen before how Oakland can struggle early on, and then, you know, they fight back, and that's how they make it to the playoffs. This year is completely different. They're off to a good start, and now it's about consistency. If you're able to continue at this, to play at this level, then, you know, it's not about, you know, fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the regular season. It's about, you know, home field advantage in the playoffs.
The captain, Nane, trying to turn around and get something going for the Roots, but a foul is called. Mark Ibarra, the 24-year-old out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, is the culprit. There's Bob Lilly, USL Hall of Famer. I beg your pardon, Delgado, who grew up in Fremont, about 45 minutes south of Pioneer Stadium. Here come the Roots. And a foul. Ibarra on the short end of the collision once again.
Well, for the first time, you know, it's so hard to break what Pittsburgh brings defensively in the middle of the field. But for the first time, we see the change of pace from Pelaez, a good call from the referee. Pelaez will always bring a lot of energy. And, you know, at times where you don't have a lot of possession, which is the case for Oakland, maybe that spark will help turn things around.
Asil Cedeno in his first start with Oakland. Right in the middle of that play, which yields a free kick. Lindo Mfeka. The Dark Knight, can we call him the Dark Knight with a mask?
I think we can, yeah.
Roots send it in. Joseph Nane. Errant pass. So Oakland can't capitalize.
Yeah, I think, you know, they need to have the ball a little bit more on the offensive side of the field. They have the quality to do so. But again, you're facing a very good team, one of the top teams in USL Championship this year in Pittsburgh, and they rely a lot on being solid defensively and limiting mistakes.
Danny Griffin, Connecticut native, 24-year-old midfielder by the center circle. He's been strong for Pittsburgh, making his 7th start, his 7th appearance. After coming back, this is his 2nd stint. He was playing with Huntsville in MLS Next Pro, but when he realized he was not going to get that call to Nashville, he just beelined it back to Pittsburgh. Wanted to be a part of what the Riverhounds are putting together, and clearly it's a special thing that they've got going on in 2023.
Well, absolutely, but I think, you know, we've seen the growth of USL Championship in the last few years, and players want to be part of this. And, you know, even if you're not getting opportunities at the MLS level, you still have an opportunity to shine here at USL Championship.
Man down in the middle. We've got a yellow card to show for it. Joe Farrell in the 10th minute.
Well, that's an early yellow for a center back. Always something to think about for Farrell. As we take another look here, it's a bad giveaway in the middle. So then you quickly turns things around, and then the challenge. in the middle of the field. It's an easy call for the referee. And for Farrell, plenty of experience, of course, but it's going to be a different game from now on for him.
Second yellow card that Farrell draws this season.
Promise an attack, that's what he said. Spot, promise an attack. Telling you what he said.
Darek Formella tracks it down on the far touchline. We're talking about him at the top of the broadcast. So far, not much of a factor about 10 minutes into this game.
Yeah, he's usually a player that grows, as the game goes on. He needs a few touches to get going. So far, not a lot of touches for him early on, but he'll find a way.
Rovira making his 5th start of the season, 7th appearance. It's a 5th-year pro, and it's his 5th year with Pittsburgh. He's a Riverhound staple. Nice throw in. Ibarra now facilitating left. Junior Etu, the cross, who's there? No one. Riverhounds might not be done. Kenardo Forbes with the right, trying to turn on the burners past Cedeno, but Hasil making his first start. Nifty move. Spin cycle past Forbes, and that is just a glimpse of what Cedeno is capable of. Another collision push from behind. Junior Etu hits the deck. Anwar Pillai's called for the foul.
He's shown the second yellow card off the match.
So he gets a yellow, 12th minute, and Pillai's his 2nd card of the year.
Yeah, it's a late tackle from Pillai from behind. It's an easy call. Obviously for him, not as risky as it is for Farrell. He's a striker, so he's not going to be involved defensively a lot in the game. But he needs to be well aware when he comes back to not be overly aggressive as he tries to recover the ball.
But the Riverhounds find themselves with a free kick within striking distance. Ibarra on the right, Forbes right on top of the ball. Kenardo Forbes with 1 goal this season. He chips it in. So Pittsburgh can't capitalize on that set piece. What did you see from the free kick there from Kenardo Forbes?
Well, it was not an easy one because there were several choices whether you want to go through to the right or the left. Had plenty of choices. I think the service was not good. So the execution, it's probably lacking that time. But, it was not an easy spot.
The grizzled veteran, Paul Blanchett, catches up to it there. Forbes loses it on the far touchline. Kenardo Forbes, 35 years young, out of Kingston, Jamaica. He's been around, but more specifically, he's been around with Bob Lilly. And another foul in midfield, and Dos Santos is the cause. There's the Dark Knight.
Yeah, a physical game early on, right? Plenty of fouls, and that's always going to be challenging for the team that likes to play out of the build-up, because the stop and go kind of prevents you from getting into a rhythm.
They were trying to force it to Forbes, but instead they play it back. Zamudio is there. But I mentioned Kenardo Forbes, and his time with Bob Lilly dates back all the way to Rochester when Forbes was a rookie. Followed Bob Lilly from the Rochester Rhinos when the club went on a hiatus to Pittsburgh, and the two have a USL title back in 2015, Forbes' rookie season. Never had a losing season. So far, looks like that streak is destined to continue. Dos Santos on the box out. Maybe a hook and hold on Lindo Mfeka. Mfeka has 1 MLS appearance for San Jose back in 2017. He's a big part of what the Roots are trying to do this season. Joe Farrell plays it back for Zamudio. Remember, Farrell has a yellow card. Came in the 10th minute.
Hey, you get it. Play if you can play. That's rapido. That's rapido.
How important and how crucial, maybe how easy is it for a new keeper like Zamudio, his first appearance with Pittsburgh on loan from DC United, to facilitate with a new roster?
Well, you know, I think the most important thing is the level of commitment from a goalkeeper to understand the system fairly quickly. And you know, when you're not having a lot of playing time, then, you know, that's almost a guarantee. And I think that's the case for Zamudio. It's not going to take him too long to understand what Bob Lilly wants from him. And, you know, he most likely will get off to a good start here. The USL Championship is a league that, you know, it's not very far away from MLS. And so, you know, he's going to be able to adjust.
Ibarra turns on the burners. They give it up to Forbes. It's been a physical game so far, 16 minutes in, with one card on each side. Plenty of other fouls as well. Good ball ahead. In the corner, it's Ibarra. Cross, and Blanchett is there. He cheats up and vacuums the loose ball. So a good run for Pittsburgh, but Paul Blanchett read it perfectly.
Yeah, it's a good start for Pittsburgh. You know, it's been 17 minutes, and I think they have, the main thing for them, they have been able to keep Oakland away from the box. So defensively, they're doing enough, but at the same time, they have been able to create opportunities. They're winning most of the 50-50 balls. Off to a great start for Pittsburgh here.
Ibarra called for the foul in the middle once again. Nice pass, and Feka draws a triple team and backs up. Now, what have you thought of the way Pittsburgh has possessed the ball so far? Because they last won the possession battle way back in April, 8 games ago. It's been a bit of an Achilles heel for them.
Yeah, they seem very comfortable with the ball here tonight. I think you know, they have been able to limit mistakes. They haven't given the ball away in the middle, which is always a plus. But you know, it's a long way to go. So you know, if you do it right for 18 minutes, that guarantees you absolutely nothing in the game of soccer.
Well, that's bad news for me, because I don't think I can run more than 18 minutes consecutively. I don't know what you're trying to say, but you're saying it. Farrell, the Blue Bell, Pennsylvania native, gives it up. Cedeno, nice pass ahead. It's Mfeka, cuts left. He dribbles into a forest of yellow jerseys, and a takeaway. Nice play by Pittsburgh, and for the whistle, and it goes against Oakland. It's Matsoso.
I'll tell you what, this kid Cedeno is really something. He's really something. If you're watching him for the first time here tonight, I mean, you're going to enjoy any time he gets a touch on the ball. And he's very young, and he's new to the team, but he's very promising. He's very, very promising.
By the way, fans get the ultimate flexibility with a Drinks and Seats 5-pack. Each pack includes 5 any game ticket vouchers, valid for any 2023 regular season home match. And in addition, each voucher also includes 2 complimentary drinks, either beer or soft drinks, which will be available for pickup on game day. For more information, visit them at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. Riverhounds might have something here with the left. It goes wide right. So Kenardo Forbes, oh, beg your pardon, Edward Kiza cannot redirect it past Blanchette.
The game is played in the middle of the field for the first 20 minutes, and as it stands, it's Pittsburgh winning the battle. So, you know, maybe Oakland, they needs to step up a little bit and maybe have some of the center backs put a little bit of more pressure and get closer to the strikers or the wingers in this case, and Mfeka and Formella. They need to get involved with the ball a little bit more.
Rovira could not capture for the Riverhounds. Cedeno's got some space. Pass ahead, too hot to handle. And Pelaez could not play it in front of Zamudio.
Yeah, it was a good touch from Cedeno. Unfortunately, Pelaez wasn't able to control the ball the way he needed. There was no room for mistakes. And obviously, you know, he wasn't able to control the ball and very easily turn it around.
Speaking of a turnaround, Mfeka keeps his balance. Now he tumbles down to the ground and a foul is called. Lindo Mfeka rewarded for his run, and Joe Farrell looks like he was the instigator on that contact.
Well, you know, the referee plays advantage initially, and then, you know, as Mfeka loses possession of the ball, he comes back. I think that's the foul right there. And then Farrell, he's able to hold on to the ball. So Farrell a little bit surprised, but I think at the end, he understands the foul was in the play before he gets touching the ball.
So it was actually Rovira who got it started. Regardless, it's a free kick and a prime opportunity for Oakland.
It's a great opportunity because for the first time in the first half, Brad, Oakland is able to put numbers inside the box. So a huge opportunity here.
Nathan Dos Santos gets the yellow. Second yellow issued to Pittsburgh today. And Dos Santos with his 5th of the season.
Both center backs, by the way.
Diaz and Mfeka. Diaz puts it in. Can Oakland break the seal? They're able to crowd that box, but the Riverhounds chew them up, spit them out.
Yeah, just doing a good job, Pittsburgh, you know, fighting for every single ball. They're first to the ball as of right now. That was the perfect example. Oakland, they need to turn things around. They need to bring up a little the energy, and they just need to match up Pittsburgh.
So Clementa now plays it back. Emra Clementa approaching a milestone. We won't see it today. This is his 198th USL Championship experience. Doesn't have the same ring as a very near number.
Yep.
Nice takeaway. Might have saved a really good shot on goal. Danny Barbier was there to stop it. Barbier, 25 years old, born in Atlanta. Raised in the soccer hotbed Eastern Pennsylvania. Here's a strike with the right and a diving stop. Luis Zamudio vacuums.
Well, first shot and goal of the game for Oakland. A quick turnaround. One of the few mistakes from Pittsburgh in the middle of the field. And you can tell how eager is Pelaez to get on the board here. A good ball as well from Formella. Just an easy save overall for Zamudio, but a good start, even though we're getting closer to the first 25 minutes of the game. But still, it's progress as it stands for Oakland.
Pittsburgh looking for a quick response. They won't get it here. We're going to be calling Pelaez's name a lot tonight. What makes him such a difficult task for that Pittsburgh defense?
Well, you know, he's always an energy guy, right? And he's going to fight for every single ball. And, you know, he's going to remain active. He's going to move around.
It's a foot race here, and a really clutch stop by Farrell with a slide from behind.
And that's a lot of quality defensively from Farrell. Even playing with a yellow card, sliding tackle. If he misses there, it's a foul and a second yellow card at least, or a 1v1 situation for Pelaez with the goalkeeper.
Potentially
a lot of quality there.
A goal-saving stop by Farrell right there on Pelaez. We're just talking about him and his quality. Not easy to stop, but Farrell manages. So it seemed, Jose, like Pittsburgh was dominating possession early, but Oakland has come back with some quality runs.
Yeah, they have been able to turn things around a little bit. I think they can do even better. I think if they put pressure in the middle, they can win that battle. It's evenly matched, to be honest, because Griffin is solid, Etu is solid. You know, that's why, you know, prior to this game, you know, the conversation around it was how even both teams are and how comfortable both of these rosters with their system. So, you know, I think we're getting what we expected.
Last few league games for the Riverhounds have been anchored by the defense. Albert Dikwa on the shelf with some shoulder problems, had some surgery recently. He'll be back in a couple of weeks, tied for the Golden Boot lead right now, but 3 consecutive clean sheets going into this game. Kiza to Ibarra. Farrell finds DeShields. Now Griffin works to Biazzi, the Syracuse product. Ibarra keeps it in, pressures for Biazzi. The second-year pro has to play it back. Remember, Pittsburgh is on a 5-match win streak right now, tied for the best this year among any team in the USL Championship. And it's also tied for the club record under Bob Lilly. Barbier tripped up. Kenardo Forbes threw his right boot in there and somersaulted Barbier down.
Yeah, but you know, it's interesting because as soon as Barbier starts moving forward and helping the build-up, Clemente doing the same thing on the right side, you can notice a difference for Oakland. Now, the challenge is that you can't give the ball away as your center backs to step up, because that opens up counter-attack opportunities.
Got a nice crowd here at Pioneer Stadium. Enjoying the sun. The first year that the Roots are playing here. East Bay. Last year, Oakland playing their home games at Laney College Field. The captain, Nane. They work it to Matsoso. We've seen him in a bunch of different skirmishes so far today. That's just the kind of player he is. Very physical, very aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Matsoso always remains active in the middle of the field. You know, if he's not getting enough touches, then that means Oakland's not playing well. That's as simple as I can put it.
Cedeno falls down, but the play continues. And now Oakland's run ends with a corner kick coming up.
Good work defensively that time, not giving Clemente enough room, but a corner kick opportunity again for Oakland.
So it's time for a corner kick powered by East Bay Community Energy. First corner kick for either side. Diaz will be the trigger man. "30 minutes in. One shot on goal. Memo Diaz has a chance to give Oakland a shot against Zamudio, who's had a very impressive start to his young Pittsburgh career.
Yeah, you gotta let him back in though. He's our biggest guy.
Got some controversy on the sideline now. Kenardo Forbes speaking with the referee. Sun in his face. Diaz lines up the corner kick. Can Oakland score here? It goes up and over with a collision by the end line. Danny Barbier, very physical.
A good ball to the first post, very well executed the play. Obviously a set play, something that you work on throughout the week. Barbier making the run, the cross that comes in. This is probably designed to be a header, but still an opportunity very close by. If Barbier puts a shot on frame from that distance, it's a goal. It doesn't matter who the goalkeeper is, that's a goal. So, you know, it didn't work out this time, but good idea.
A header might be a smart move for Barbier, 6'5".
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys, I can't relate. I can wish, but I can't relate. He's been tall his whole life. Back when he was 16, he was 6'4".
Wow.
So it just depends on how you want to look at it. Either, wow, he's 6'5", or, gosh, you only grew an inch since you were 16? What's going on here? See, but I'm 6'5" in spirit. It doesn't seem to matter all that much to other people. So look out for Barbier. Should Oakland get another corner kick? Box out, Etu, who scored last week just 21 seconds in to a Pittsburgh 2-0 win against Charleston. He boxes out, now a chance generated. Danny Griffin works it left. It's Rovira, cross, and that header goes wide left. Really good look, but Pittsburgh comes up empty-handed. Kenardo Forbes going for goal number 2 on the year.
Yeah, beautifully done from Pittsburgh. The way they move the ball from side to side, just finding room, creating room, moving without the ball. This time a good cross. Kenardo Forbes, usually, you know, with the assist, he almost gets a goal here, but just very well played from Pittsburgh.
We really haven't seen Forbes facilitate all that much today.
Yep. Well, that should be a point of emphasis for every team. Just trying to control Kenardo Forbes from finding that outlet in the attacking part of the field. And so far, Oakland doing a good job with that. I think they need to work a little bit harder to just have a little bit more possession. That will really, really help their game.
Farrell finds Biazzi, who, according to Bob Lilly, excels in one-on-one situations, has come a long way since his rookie year last year, when there were times he wasn't even in the 18, but now he's a regular starter for one of the best teams in the league. Forbes plays it ahead. Ibarra, one-on-one, but can't work it away from Kevin Wright. And Farrell loses possession. Got a whistle center circle. DeShields calling for the foul. Looked like he threw his left hip.
And another foul in the middle. You know, I wouldn't say it's by design, but, you know, I think that speaks about, you know, the importance of winning the middle of the field. Man, that's borderline yellow there. But, you know, it's clear that, you know, within the game plan, Pittsburgh wants to be physical in the middle of the field.
And that's something that they're finally able to do with some pop in their legs. We see that early on, but Pittsburgh had some really tough scheduling with their Open Cup run, made it to the quarters. Bob Lilly was happy to finally have a full week of training. And now Cedeno. He finds a man inside, top of the 18. Kick is up and over for Diaz.
See, the most important thing when you're watching a player like Cedeno is You know, how he moves around the field. Forget about passes. Forget about, you know, all the things that are clean to everybody to watch. Think about the way he understands the game at this stage in his career. Just a few games for him, very young, but still always finding the right teammate in a position to score, in a position to succeed. It's unbelievable, this kid.
He's 23. He's still learning the ins and outs of the roster. Made his Roots debut just 2 days prior, or rather after, the transfer from Hartford.
He needs to play. That's what he needs. You know, as much as you can have him on the field at 23 years old, he can't perform. He can't be a starter. And he just needs to let him play.
Acquired in the transfer with Hartford, sent Edgardo Rito out east to a struggling team. Maybe Rito can help them get back on top of the table. Got a somersault there, but a takeaway, and Cedeno is right in the middle. DeShields seesaws it back to Pittsburgh. Biazzi to Forbes. Now it's Nate Dos Santos with plenty of space. Can't penetrate the box himself. So the Riverhounds, who did a lot of this early on in half number one, controlled on this side of the field, and then the Roots took possession back, but Pittsburgh has been strong recently. A foul there. Matsoso gets the short end of the collision with Etu.
Yep, and again, an easy call for the referee, but Brad, I think, you know, as we move forward into this game, it's pretty clear that, you know, the center backs is starting the build-up. It's very important for both sides, so I wouldn't be surprised if counter-attack opportunities end up being very important here for both sides, especially in the second half, as, you know, after the 60th minute mark, you start thinking about tired legs and, you know, coaching staff making decisions to bring fresh legs in. That could play a big factor in the game.
Luke Biazzi, one of those fullbacks who might be crucial to an offensive push later on. Nice keep. The Roots ahead in the box. The cross doesn't come. Dos Santos keeps it in, or does he? Looked like Nate Dos Santos had stifled that run, but instead, Mfeka generates a corner kick.
Yeah, it will be a corner kick. We'll see what the strategy is with this one. We'll see if they go again for the first post or they try something different.
So Diaz trots on. He took the first corner kick. He'll take the second. Went low the first time around. Go indirect here. Mfeka with the left. They go inside. Headed up in the air by Pelaez, and now Cedeno puts it on and misses left. The 23-year-old with a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, he takes on the opportunity, the ball bouncing his way, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Unfortunately, the shot goes wide for him. But at that point as well, you just want to stay away from a counterattack opportunity, maybe get the shot block, and then, you know, you're running back. So it's a good choice to take the shot, but you need to stay well aware that you just can't give an opportunity out of that play to Pittsburgh.
Nice play by DeShields. And then Forbes loses. Here comes Oakland. Cedeno with the right. Farrell was there to vacuum top of the 18. They dribble around Matsoso. It's Etu. Intercepted by the captain, Joseph Nane. Nane, out of Cameroon, 36 years old. Third season in Oakland, 14th pro season. And you could see the experience in his game today.
Yes, the captain. He's a very important part of this team on and off the field.
Ball is loose. Farrell. Now Zamudio cheats in, and he clears it away. Looked like it might have been trouble for Pittsburgh. Oakland cannot race to the ball in time.
Hey, get up! Get up!
Kenardo Forbes loses that ball right there. It's a goal kick for Paul Blanchette.
Well, a perfect example of how Zamudio has been able to come in and pretty much understand what is required from him. And the communication with center backs is so important. At that time, he understood that Farrell was in a little bit of trouble. He stepped up and he was able to clear the ball away.
That's an experienced play by a relatively inexperienced player. 24 years old, out of Las Vegas, has some USL Championship experience last year with Loudoun, but hasn't gotten to play this year.
Yeah, I
DC
think
United.
Yeah, it's about fundamentals as well, right? Fundamentals are there for him, and it talks about the work ethic. You know, the understanding that even when you're not playing, you still have to be ready when your time comes, and I think that's the case for Zamudio.
Rovira, the culprit on the whistle right there, and Bob Lilly has something to say about it. Important to look out for Rovira. Played last week against Charleston after missing the previous 2 months of league play. And now he's back, and he's crucial to Pittsburgh's defense, which has been pretty strong, with 3 consecutive clean sheets led by Jamali Waite, who's now absent from the team for the next couple of weeks. And they patched that hole with the month-long loan for Luis Zamudio. Forbes might have shoved Clementa there. Here come the Roots. Pedal to the metal. Into the box they go, and Kevin Wright can't turn the corner.
A good movement initially without the ball from Kevin Wright, understanding that there was an opportunity. But as soon as he got close to the box, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. And you know, at this level, you just have to be a little bit more decisive. And I think that was the main reason why Wright wasn't able to even take a shot on goal or bring a cross in.
Digging the percussion section in row 1. See, I played trombone back in high school, so
All right, yeah.
nothing I could do to help out. See, I thought trombone was cool, and then I started playing it, and it wasn't. Nane and Forbes on a foot race there. Oakland will throw it in with Clementa. Approaching halftime here. Both teams with some really good runs. Not too much in the shot on goal department for either side, but a very, very physical contest through the first half. Cedeno plays it back. It's Nane again. Matsoso had it taken away. Slide tackle from behind. It was Rovira who has the ball now in his bright pink cleats. Plays it ahead, and Forbes was a little tardy on the run.
Very tactical half, and it's a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait for the second half because I know both head coaches will be looking for answers during halftime. We'll be having conversations. They're going to try to do things differently, and you know, it should be a very exciting second half here.
Trying to do it himself, it's Kiza. Left on an island against Nane, and nothing to show for the effort. And remember, before the second half, we have plenty for you on the halftime report. Presented by Anthem Blue Cross. We've got highlights, we've got stats, we've got a trip around the league here on ESPN+. So as we approach halftime here, if you're Noah Delgado, what are your takeaways from the first half?
Well, I think defensively you still remain a solid team, but if you have to find a positive, I'll go with Cedeno. But you don't want to have a positive and rely only on one player, right? You want to have a collective effort as a whole.
Griffin finds Rovira. This might be Pittsburgh's chance. They cross it in. It's up off the deflection. Kenardo Forbes winds up, and it trickles out of bounds. Oakland pointing, and we've got a goal kick. So it looked like the Riverhounds might have had a chance to close out the first half strong there. 1 minute of stoppage time. So I ask you, we flip the script to Bob Lilly now. What do you think his message should be to his Riverhound squad into the locker room?
I think Bob Lilly should be a lot happier than Noah Delgado, just because, again, they have been able to be good defensively, but, they have been able to create opportunities. They have enjoyed possession. And when I mean possession is that, not that percentage exactly, but, when they have the ball, they have been able to do more. Even if they have the ball for 40%, let's say, they have been able to create more out of that 40%. And for Oakland, whenever they have the ball, they are struggling with it. So Bob Lilly should be happy. Obviously, he would have wanted to score at least a goal here.
Diaz on the closeout with Kiza. And Kiza generates a corner kick. So Pittsburgh with one more shot before half.
For Oakland, very important here to stay well organized, and for Pittsburgh an opportunity to close out a solid half with the goal. And this could be a very important moment in the match.
Kenardo Forbes, USL Championships all-time leading passer, 60 assists, including one last week. He lines up the corner kick. It goes low. It's loose right on top of the 6, and we've got a hook against Danny Griffin and company. So Pittsburgh with nothing to show for that corner kick, and that will take us to half in just a moment.
Yeah, I think a solid half for Pittsburgh. For Oakland, still some work to do. Bring a little bit more intensity early in the second half, a better understanding of what Pittsburgh is doing tactically. That is going to help Noah Delgado a lot understand what they need to do. It's in the head coaches at this point. They both have to make decisions and turn things around in the second half.
We had a physical first half. Back and forth we go. No score between Oakland and Pittsburgh, but don't go anywhere. We've got plenty left for you. The halftime report with a trip around the league coming up on the other side here on ESPN+.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, empowered all athletes to improve physical health, and expanded health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community, together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't many adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
The mission of Fertile Groundworks is of teach, grow, give. Teach people how to grow food for themselves, grow it, and then give it away to people who need it. We grow about 25,000 pounds of food a year. We also operate something we call the Sustainable School Garden Program. Teachers ask us for help setting up a garden on their own campuses. East Bay Community Energy was nice enough to give us $2,500 that we were able to focus on one of our school gardens, and I am truly grateful.
I'll have whatever they're having. Good time here at Pioneer Stadium and dancing to the beat of no score. Oakland and Pittsburgh doing battle here in this East versus West matchup. Halftime brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Now we take you into the upcoming schedule. We'll start with the Roots and Jose. The Roots, deja vu, because they're coming off a 2-2 draw against Phoenix Rising. They've got Phoenix again here at Pioneer Stadium.
Yeah, it's different because it's a home game, another opportunity to play against one of the top teams in USL Championship. RGV struggling a little bit, but then, you know, it's the Tampa Bay Rowdies, a road game, very tough in Oakland, in St. Petersburg. So not an easy schedule at all for Oakland Roots, but, you know, it's always fun to play against Phoenix and the Rowdies.
And meanwhile, you say not a very easy schedule. Pittsburgh is saying, hold my beer. You have 5 opponents coming up, and all 5 of them were in the postseason last year.
Oof, yeah, absolutely. Listen, if we talk about Phoenix Rising and the Tampa Bay Rowdies as top teams in USL Championship, well, San Diego, Lou City, Sacramento Republic are right at the top of the list as well. So, you know, a very, very tough schedule. Detroit City is struggling a little bit, but still an opportunity for Pittsburgh to shine in the next 5 games.
Tough slate for both sides, and I have a feeling that the 5 games coming up would be a little bit easier with a win today. We'll see who can take advantage in the second half later, but we've got a trip around the league on the other side here on ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, empowered all athletes to improve physical health, and expanded health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together.
Why Morad has...
Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
It was an exciting first half, but if you can catch a hot dog, it's way more exciting. She missed it, so I don't know why we're rewarding her with screen time. Hey, give it up. You got flying food in the air, and I didn't catch it. I'm surprised. I'm Brad Klein with Jose Rodriguez. Very happy to be with you. We take you around USL Championship right now, celebrating Pride Month, but the big headline right now, someone new is steering the ship in New Mexico.
Yeah, new head coach Eric Krell for New Mexico United. You know, New Mexico, since coming in the league, they have been very competitive, so they want to take the next step. They have been able to make some changes in the roster as well. For Eric, obviously, you know, a proven coach at the USL League One level. So getting this opportunity, it's big time for him.
Phoenix Rising FC, Memphis 901 FC dancing on the big stage on ESPN2 Saturday, July 1st at 11 Eastern. Very excited for that one, featuring Manuel Arteaga as well. But now we transition into the upcoming schedule around USL. And you know what? A lot of Wednesday action here. That's always exciting. Birmingham, they're struggling a little bit. They've lost 5 of their last 6. Facing Loudoun United on Wednesday, we'll see what they can do, getting off the schneid there, and got a couple of other Wednesday matches to look at as well.
Yeah, I think Memphis and Tulsa, a good matchup there. RGV and Colorado Springs, I like that one as well. And you talked about Birmingham. Let me say something about Loudoun because they're turning things around this year. Good win tonight against Miami FC, so that is a game to watch without a doubt.
You mentioned the win against Miami FC, and, well, Loudoun United sporting it right there, getting some screen time. Birmingham getting off the schneid again, had lost 5 consecutive matches, and they defeat Indy 11 2-1. So a big win there for Birmingham as we take you on this out-of-town scores brought to you by Visit Oakland. Get out on the town and visit Oakland to explore arts, culture, and world-class cuisine. That's your trip around the scoreboard right there, and we are not done. Here on ESPN Plus, no score between Oakland and Pittsburgh, but on the other side, we've got highlights and stats from the first half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN Plus.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't mini adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Wouldn't it be great to have delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door? No planning, shopping, or prepping. And what if your delivery was full of plant-based, fresh ingredients that truly nourish and fuel your body? Try Thistle. Our in-house chefs create a new menu each week for you to choose from before it arrives ready to eat. No prep needed. And for a limited time, you can save $100 off your first 4 weeks. So go ahead and autopilot your diet. Get started today at jointhistle.com.
My name is Ed, and I live in San Leandro, California. I've always been concerned about being prepared and being on a medical baseline where I have a CPAP machine. I was wondering, will I be able to keep that thing going? I got an email from East Bay Community Energy, and they mentioned a rebate about getting an electrical generator. So I went for it. East Bay Community Energy has been great. They're doing a job to help our environment, and I think they're really supportive.
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, UCSF, and Modelo. Oh, don't let the score deceive you. Pittsburgh and Oakland, both of them in a scoreless stalemate here, but it was a very exciting first half with Jose Rodriguez. I'm Brad Klein. Very happy to be with you. Let's jump into the highlights right now. What did you miss from the first 45 minutes? Well, we'll tell you, because Oakland trying to get their 4th consecutive match without a loss, and in the 20th minute, Ibarra challenging up, and now it's up to Kenardo Forbes, and he goes with the left, misses wide right. Blanchette had some challenge there.
Yeah, early opportunity for Pittsburgh, 24th minute mark, and now it's a shot from Pelaez. At that point in the game, Brad, it was a struggle offensively for Oakland, and that's why as soon as Pelaez gets the ball, he tries to take the shot and maybe gain some of the rhythm that they were missing early on.
Another really good look for Kenardo Forbes off the cross there, usually on the other end of that exchange as one of the best passers in championship history. With the head, he misses left, and Paul Blanchette was on top of it though. And there you see the first half stats. Now what you won't see here, final third entries. Pittsburgh with 44 of them, Oakland with only 20.
Yeah, shots on target, it's also very interesting to me. And I think that explains that, you know, the game is played at this point in the middle of the field. No shots on target for Pittsburgh, only one for Oakland. We saw it in the highlights, it was Pelaez. So, you know, that's something that obviously needs to change in the second half. And again, I think it's going to be very interesting what the approach is from both coaching staffs to see how can they solve what as it is right now. It's a very tactical game.
And you mentioned it's being played in the middle of the field right now. We'll see what, if anything, changes that. But who has the advantage in a game in the middle third?
Well, they are very even, and it's hard to tell who has an advantage. I think it's going to come down to intensity. It's going to come down as well to taking advantage of opportunities. You know, the team that scores the first goal will have a huge advantage in this game because of how well both of these teams play defensively.
By the way, Roots are back at home on June 24th at Cal State University East Bay versus Phoenix Rising. Limited single game tickets are still available. Purchase yours now before they sell out. To secure your tickets, visit them at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. That's 510-488-1144. So Oakland, the only shot on target so far in this match against one of the best teams in USL Championship. Trevor Svetsflut, first time we're seeing him. He starts the second half. Kevin Wright was very active in the first half for Oakland. We are underway in half number 2. Both teams preventing a first half goal for the 9th time this season. Only Sacramento has done that more often with 11. Svetsflut in for Farrell. Well, Trevor Svetsflut, born in the Netherlands, raised in Auckland, New Zealand. Dos Santos is done with Tola Shounmi in, the 22-year-old out of London. Got another collision. That was a motif in the first half. Shounmi now with the left entry. In the final third, it's popped up in the air. And Tola Shounmi generates a look for Pittsburgh. We've got some technical difficulties here. We apologize. We'll get them sorted out in just a moment. So I ask you, Jose, what do you think the second half key might be for Oakland?
Well, I think they need to get off to a good start. I think they need to bring up the intensity. They have been able to do this throughout the regular season whenever they have a team that, you know, has a little bit more possession, that creates more opportunities. They have to find a way to turn things around.
We're back here. We apologize for the technical difficulties, and Paul Blanchette makes a really nice stop, but it comes at a price. Off of the corner by Pittsburgh in the infancy of the second half. What did you see from Blanchette? Obviously, shots on target they were scarce, as in they were non-existent. So he didn't necessarily get a chance for a save, but what did you see from him?
Well, Blanchett just overall, playing at his level. I have been able to watch him play from a long time ago. He's New York Cosmos days, and a solid goalkeeper every single season. He's able to keep his level of play at a high standard, and I think he's doing exactly the same here tonight for Oakland.
They flip fields. It's popped up by Biazzi. Showunmi is on an island, and now he's offside. And we've got some shoving. Clementa and Showunmi locking horns. And Clementa doing his best Showunmi impression there. So what looked like a really good look for Showunmi ends in a foul against the 22-year-old. Noah Delgado looking on, and now referee's trying to sort things out. And Tola Showunmi is still involved in the conversation. Showunmi, a first-year pro. Third-team All-American at New Hampshire back in 2021. Picked in the third round of the 2022 MLS draft by Atlanta, but went unsigned and chose to return to New Hampshire to finish out his collegiate career. What do you expect from Showunmi coming off the bench as that young forward with a run here in the corner?
Yeah, he needs to be aggressive. And he needs to take advantage of opportunities inside the box. I think, he has the physical ability to match up with Barbier, even with Clementa. So it's going to be a battle.
He has one league goal this season, also one goal in Open Cup. The league goal came last week against Charleston. Kenardo Forbes lining up the second corner kick of the second half. Forbes sends it in. And Kenardo Forbes will try to push it back into the box now. Etu, he lost it. Cedeno on the takeaway, and he is shifty back there in the midfield. It's hacky sacks. Back to Etu, trying to force the issue to Forbes, and another takeaway by Oakland.
By the way, a smart decision from Bob Lilly, taking out Farrell and Dos Santos, two players already with a yellow card. It's not want to take any risks with a second yellow card and a red. So it's a risk as well because you make two substitutions at the halfway mark. But I think that's playing safe, especially when you're on the road.
Farrell got an early yellow card in the 10th minute, and that was crucial because there was another play, a foot race on a 50-50 ball with him and Pelais. Farrell made the slide tackle from behind, which was clean.
Yeah.
A dangerous play, could have resulted in another card on him. But it ended up being what was likely a goal-saving stop.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And it's that element of the game, and I'm sure Bob will trust Farrell because of his experience on the field. But, the way things are going right now, and it seems like the counter-attack opportunities will be there. And so that brings another element to Farrell, and that's a little bit too risky for Bob Lilly, I guess.
Matsoso jars it free from Forbes. Luke Biazzi now in the corner. Second-year pro. Trying to shift around his defender, but it's poked away. Last touch, Biazzi. So Luke Biazzi, who maybe should get an honorary ring, like a small one, because Syracuse, the year after his grad senior season, won the national championship. But I don't know if they do it without the table set that Biazzi had coming out of Memphis. I don't know. Maybe he gets a small ring. We've got a man down. It's Donnie Rovira on the far touchline.
Yeah, it did seem like a clean challenge initially, but decision was made by the referee. Fans obviously don't like it at all.
Diaz gets a card. Here's another look. You be the judge.
It's like, look. Oh, well, yeah, he's late that time. I think, you know, Clementa's good, but it's Diaz who just, yeah, pulls him down, and then I think that's why he gets called for the foul.
Correction, no yellow card, but a foul and a free kick here. Tola show on me. And a foot race with Clementa. He keeps it in, and Blanchett is there. Kenardo Forbes was waiting for the ball to come down. Tola Shawunmi generates a bit of a gasp from the Oakland faithful.
Great effort from Shawunmi. And that's what's going to be required from him. He needs to fight for every single ball.
And he's really added a bit of a jolt into this Pittsburgh front line, a team that is rested compared to how they've been playing for the past month or so. Off the heels of Open Cup competition, they really haven't had more than 4 days of rest, and now with a full 7 to rest and plan and think about this Oakland match on the road, traveling cross country. It's needed, but Tola Shawunmi is definitely still an Energizer bunny off the bench. Danny Barbier plays it in. Matsoso to the far touchline now, take away. Joseph Nane, the captain out of Cameroon. Fans starting to get involved. They challenge ahead. Pelais couldn't get it. Formella keeps it in front. Cedeno works it back for Matsoso. Now it's Barbier, strikes with the left, and he misses high.
Yeah, he missed on the shot, but very well done from Oakland. They were able to move the ball around. They created space, which is something that they have been struggling with. Cedeno moves the ball back. Matsoso opens up to the left side, and that's the shot right there. You know, sometimes it's not going to be on target, but that's the right shot. That's the right play that time from Barbier, who steps up once again, and whenever Barbier moves forward with the ball, he's helping a lot in the buildup. That's very, very good from a center back.
Blanchett has to jump on it like a grenade with some pressure by Kiza there, the 24-year-old out of Uganda. Only active Riverhound with a League Cup and playoff goal. He had been under contract with New England Revolution since 2021, actually won the MLS title with New England. Then the club loaned him to Revs 2 in League One, to the championship side with Memphis 901, and last year with the Riverhounds, but he signed a permanent contract ahead of this season. And Zamudio cheats up. He's off his line. Nearly facilitated something there. Barbier puts it in front offside. Now, what do you think of that aggression from Zamudio? Not the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, I think, you know, the second half might not be starting the way Noah Delgado wanted. I don't see a big change in terms of energy or possession for Oakland. And especially when you're playing at home, you just need a spark. And at this point, it seems like, you know, that's going to have to come from the bench.
Here's Formella. Tries to chip it to Hogan, or rather Kevin Wright. Barbier can't keep it in. Luke Biazzi has some space to operate. He goes with the Ryan, the cross, no one home. Passes right into a double team of Oakland black jerseys. DeShields gives up the keys. It's Ibarra. Tries to penetrate into the 18, and now Biazzi can't get it back for the Riverhounds. Matsoso can't take it away cleanly. Ahead for Forbes. Slide tackle away. Kenardo Forbes can't handle it himself. And now some help coming from the far touchline. They go inside, and Blanchette climbs the ladder and snares it away. So Donnie Rovira pressuring Blanchette, but the 29-year-old veteran up to the task.
Yeah, again, just solid, very well positioned, and understanding of what he needed to do to get a hold of the ball, securing it once he's able to get there. Just a lot of quality from Blanchette as a goalkeeper, and we don't expect less from him.
So you think about maybe the scouting report that these two teams had on each other going into this match. Oakland tied for second as far as passing accuracy in the league, tied with San Diego and Indy 11. What have you thought of the way the Roots have moved the ball so far?
Yeah, I think they can do better. I think they can do better tonight. I think they've been doing a good job throughout the season. But I'm going to give a lot of credit to Pittsburgh. I think, tactically they have been able to, put up a plan that is working for them right now, and that maybe it's taking away Oakland from their game, from their style. And that's why, I was talking a few minutes ago about the spark, and I think Johnny Rodriguez might be a good player to bring in to create chances for you.
Rodriguez tied for the team lead, 5 goals, and now Zamudio cheats up. Helps his own cause, at least for the moment. So Luis Zamudio, his first appearance of the year on loan from DC United. He's been impressive so far. Hasn't had much challenge in the shots on target department. And now Pelaez with the head. He puts it up and now batted down by Zamudio.
Just very isolated is Pelaez, especially in the second half. This is a long ball from Diaz. That's just not the style of play for Oakland. They work a lot more through the wings, yes, but within a collective effort, not just Pelaez doing a one-man job surrounded by defenders.
Matsoso runs into contact. Kenardo Forbes was just standing there. It looked like Matsoso was running full steam, and he gets the short end. And Napo gets back up.
So
145 pounds colliding with 170 right there.
Another yellow card for Pittsburgh. It's Kenardo Forbes.
Forbes gets his second yellow of the season, and that's a big one. What he means to this team, it can't be overstated. Yellow card in the 61st minute. It's the third yellow card issued to the Hounds today. First two coming in the first half. Joe Farrell drew one in the 10th minute. Nathan Dos Santos in the 22nd. There's a shove for Mella, pushing down Zvetslut. Darek Formella, one of those players we expected to hear a lot from today, but haven't called his name too much. How would you evaluate his performance so far?
Well, with the team not having a lot of possession, it's a tough spot for any of the attacking players. And I think, for Miller, he needs to get involved, but it all starts in the middle of the field.
Here's a chance for Pelaez on the run. He's alone. And DeShields on the box out works it back to Zamudio. So Anwar Pelaez, not the first time we've seen him try to play hero ball kind of on an island, create and finish on his own. Nane, winning the cleat game today, plays it back for Blanchette. Nice pass by Formella. Diaz might be cooking, and he turns it over to Shields on the takeaway.
Yeah, it was the right idea from Cedeno that time. And Formella, we were talking about it, he gets involved and quickly is able to create an opportunity with a nice feed through the middle. Just unfortunately unable to make that final connection to a 1v1 situation with Mfeka and Samudio.
Shounmi was very active, fresh off the bench at the beginning of the second half. Lost the ball there, and Matsoso takes it away. Formella with a nifty pass ahead for Kevin Wright. The Roots on a run. It's Pillais on the left. Anwar Pillais shuffles to his right. He's marked up by Rovira. Top of the 18, man down, Pittsburgh takes over. So what went wrong for the Roots on that run? It looked like they had something sparking.
Yeah, it did seem like it was a good ball to Pillais, but he wasn't able to, get in a position where he could take a shot and goal.
Shounmi one-on-one with Barbier, and now it's popped up and over. So a goal kick coming up for Paul Blanchette, as Luke Biazzi was off target on his ball. So we made a dent in the second half. It was a very even first half. Who has the edge so far out of the locker room?
Well, I think Oakland, they're starting to, get back into that rhythm that has been so successful for them this year. The last 5 minutes, I think there's something as they continue to get involved. Formella in the middle, they have been able to create a couple of chances. I think it's a second half that's evenly played as it stands right now.
Pittsburgh is getting used to playing in low scoring, if not no scoring affairs. Now they've won their last 5. In their last 3, 2 of them include 1-0 wins, and that is not necessarily a coincidence. You're without the Golden Boot leader Albert Dikwa. He's out with a shoulder injury. You lost Russell Cicerone in the offseason. Cicerone is tied with Dikwa for the Golden Boot lead, and he's with Sacramento now, both with 9 goals. And Cicerone led the team in goals scored for the past 2 seasons, so already your scoring was a bit depleted, and now you lose Dikwa. So somehow Pittsburgh trying to salvage and scrape together 1 goal and hope the defense can anchor the rest of the way.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the way to go. When you're playing on the road, then, you need to find an opportunity, capitalize on it, and then play solid defense. And that's the way to do it at times.
Celebrate your next event with Oakland Roots. Groups of 10 or more can take advantage of specially priced tickets and enjoy memorable experiences, including player meet and greets, the Parade of Champions, playing on the field at halftime as well. We've got some movement here for Pittsburgh with the right. Barbier deflected it away. Really good look for the Riverhounds. Tola Shounmi right in the teeth of that run. And Cedeno now was hooked. So to reserve your group experience with the right, that one deflected again by Barbier. Contact them at tickets@rootssc.com or call 510-488-1144. That goes inside. Blanchette diving stop. Luke Biazzi put it on net, and Blanchette with the right, he gobbles it up.
Yeah, it's great communication that time from Blanchette and Barbier, because just the slight touch might result in an own goal, or a lack of communication might result on Blanchette not holding on to the ball. It's a very, very tricky ball. It might be simple to the naked eye, but the reality is the level of communication at that point needs to be at its highest level.
Who's going to blink first? can't get much more even than we are right now in the way this match has been played. And Zamudio, who's still learning everyone's name on the roster, making his debut with Pittsburgh, works it ahead. Now show on me. Gives it up. The pass to the left. Nifty move by Forbes. Top of the 18, and it goes high. Junior Etu with the left. He was off target.
Good pressure at that time defensively. It's a good job as well from the build-up for Pittsburgh, but it's again, it's a give and take at this point. When Pittsburgh is doing something right offensively, then here comes Oakland, and they are good defensively. That's the way the game has been played right now.
Remember, Junior Etu scored last week against Charleston in a 2-0 win. He got the scoring started in the first minute, the 21st second. A whistle now against Oakland. It was Pelais on the contact. Mark Ibarra, the second-year pro, spent 5 years at the University of Michigan, played alongside Robbie Mertz, who we haven't seen for Pittsburgh today. He's on the bench right now. Record holder for games played, starts, minutes, and he's second in school history with assists. Griffin finds Ibarra. Kind of works for Ibarra to be from Michigan. I know Pittsburgh's wearing yellow, but it could be construed as the Michigan maize, just saying. Etu goes around Matsoso, and now he tumbles down. No foul. Etu wants a foul, a trip on Matsoso. He's not going to get it. So a throw-in coming up for Danny Rovira. Into the corner. Do the Riverhounds have something here? They swoop in with Danny Griffin running downhill on a takeaway.
See, that tells you it's not a good night for Oakland. Those are long balls with no outlet, no player around. That's not Oakland roots. That's just not the style. And maybe they're missing Tamakas and Hakshaw. We'll see if they find an answer coming off the bench. It looks like Trayvon Reed is getting ready.
Mentioned Tamakas. He is representing El Salvador, getting ready for the Gold Cup. Hackshaw representing Trinidad and Tobago. Johnny Rodriguez, 5 goals on the year. That's tied for the best on the Roots so far. He takes over for Pelais. So Pelais done. And Oakland looking for fresh legs at the striker spot. Meanwhile, Trayvon Reed in, Lindo Mfeka out.
Yeah, it must be a frustrating night for Mfeka. Surely a player that likes to be involved, that likes to have plenty of touches. But since Oakland is struggling in the middle, he didn't get a lot of the ball, and similar scenario for Formella.
And the substitution powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Formella plays it ahead. Good run for Diaz, and DeShields wards it off, but now Oakland might have something going. There was the connection on the deep ball.
Yeah, a lot better that time. Whenever you're able to find Diaz on the right side, who, by the way, has usually, played on the left side of the field with Tamacas and Rito on the right for so long. Foul there.
Soso hits the ground.
Set pieces, you know, sometimes set pieces is the way to go. I think, you know, this is a very tough match for a good call, by the way.
It was Ibarra.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the way to go. That's how you're able to win games. And we've seen in USL Championship how teams can rely on set pieces. Maybe this is the night for Oakland to win a game where they're not playing at their level, but they do well on set pieces, and they get 3 points at home.
Diaz and Formella. Crowding the ball. Big set piece for Oakland. Can they break the seal here? Formella sends it in, and now top of the 18 with the left, and it is saved. Zamudio is there, and the shot by Trayvon Reed was stonewalled.
Great effort from Trayvon Reed. Very well positioned and understanding that, you know, if there's a second chance opportunity, he needed to be at the edge of the box, and that's exactly where the ball finds him. As Pittsburgh tries to clear the ball away, takes the shot. Not an easy save at all from Zamudio. The ball bounces in front of him, but he's able to hold on to the ball.
So Reed, with his first real touch off the bench right there, and maybe the best opportunity for the Roots as well. It's cut off by Matsoso there.
Well, by the way, as it stands right now, scoreless, Matsoso will be my clear choice for man of the match.
Can't argue. Etu finds Shounmi. Biasi cuts left. Now it's Kenardo Forbes. Passes to space, and Biasi is leveled. It was Trayvon Reed extending his right elbow into the Biasi back.
Yeah, a big mistake that time. Just completely unnecessary from Trayvon Reed. Coming from behind early on in the game. Similar foul in the middle. That resulted in a yellow card for Pelaez. I think that's not going to be the case this time. But regardless, you just give an opportunity to Pittsburgh to put numbers inside the box. Just completely unnecessary. Lack of concentration that time from Trayvon Reed.
Almost works as a corner kick with Kenardo Forbes triggering the set piece. Can Pittsburgh break the seal? They go back post and up and over. Nothing doing for Shounmi there. Targeting Tola Shounmi in his 6'3" frame, not a bad idea, but he can't convert with Paul Blanchette waiting and waiting in the back of the net. Oakland cannot convert, rather really cannot connect on that last pass, so Pittsburgh will stay on this third. Clock ticking away, but both teams with some decent chances here in the second half. Griffin goes to Rovira. Now Cedeno. Nothing doing. Svetslut gobbles up that pass, and now Junior Etu pedal to the metal. Pass up front to Shounmi. Mark Ibarra tracks it down on the near touchline, and Reed pokes it away. The Hounds, for the last few minutes, have kept the ball on their attacking third. Nifty move by Rovira. Turn around for Danny Griffin. Chip up front, no one home. Paul Blanchette watches it just settle off the end line, and now a goal kick coming up. Rodriguez hits the deck there. So based off of the last few minutes and what you've seen out of the Pittsburgh offense, getting some decent pressure on Blanchette, what do you think the Roots need to do for the remainder of this game?
Well, you know, at this point, they just have to understand what they want from this game. It's not a good night for them offensively, so you just have to remain solid defensively and maybe find an opportunity late in the game and try to get 3 points. But as it stands right now, get a draw at home against a solid team in Pittsburgh, it's not that bad deal for them.
I'm sure Bob Lilly would feel differently the way his team has played. And again, on the road, and the Roots are well above that playoff line. Wouldn't be bad results for the Hounds either. Trying to extend their unbeaten streak to 8 games. Kiza finds Ibarra. (11 versus 11). Reed was marking up Forbes. Now Ibarra finds the 6'3" Showunmi, passes to space. No one there. Rovira can't get it. Oakland Roots and Anthem Blue Cross 2023 jerseys are here, and they look hella fresh. Purchase your 2023 primary jersey by visiting shop.oaklandrootssc.com. Langston Blackstock getting ready to check in exchange for Edward Kiza. Blackstock out of Marietta, Georgia. That's an Atlanta suburb, first-year pro. Kenardo Forbes sits as well.
Not a lot of opportunities for Kiza in the game.
Burke failing in for Forbes. And Oakland making a swap as well. Wolfgang Prentice on loan from forward Madison. He trots in.
Well, with players out on international duty, it's time for opportunities. Somebody needs to step up. Wright got an opportunity to start. And Prentice gets an opportunity here late in the game.
So we'll see what those subs can do for either side, trying to get some fresh legs on a balmy day in Oakland. And we've got a yellow card here on Showunmi. So Showunmi's second yellow of the season comes in the 81st minute. That is yellow card number 4 on the Hounds today. So now with Burke failing in for Pittsburgh, we have 2 Memphis Tigers on the field. He actually played with Luke Biazzi back in their college days. Danny Griffin trying to get something started for Pittsburgh here. Bob Lilly says that Griffin can really play anywhere on the field, from midfield to striker, solves a lot of problems for the Hounds. One of the most complete and versatile players that Lilly has ever coached. Now it's Biazzi Dribbles into a triple team. Trouble. Goes to Shounmi in the box. And Ibarra now with some space. With the right, he pressures in. And we've got contact, no call. What a play by Diaz to get positioning on Blackstock.
Yeah, it's a good way to manage a situation in which you might be at a disadvantage because of the height. But, you know, if you understand how to play defense, you know that positioning is the most important thing. And that's exactly what happens here. A good ball, but he's able to shield the ball without going for it. So a great effort defensively that time from Memo Diaz as he moves back.
Soso finds Clementa. And now Zamudio scoops it up. How much growth do you expect to see from Zamudio in his month-long loan, both individually and for the sake of the Riverhounds here? How long is a month for a keeper to get acquainted to a team?
Well, I think, you know, it's about getting playing time for him. I think, you know, already we know the quality that he brings to the table. And for Pittsburgh, it's going to be very important. I think, you know, even tonight where Oakland, they haven't been able to have as many opportunities. The shots from Pelaez in the first half and the shot from Trayvon Reed just a few minutes ago, those shots showed you the level of goalkeeping that he can bring to this team. And he was very well positioned. He understood exactly where he needed to be. And, you know, you can expect that from him every single night.
Luke Biazzi's had a busy second half, and what he was cooking up right there, it fails. What have you seen from him as a chance generator for the Hounds?
Well, you know, it's interesting because this is a game where, you know, if you have the ball, and in Pittsburgh they have been able to enjoy possession. At the same time, you have been facing a team that's very well organized defensively. It's a very tactical game tonight, Brett, and that's very challenging for both teams offensively.
Cedeno chips into space. Wolfgang Prentice. Nice move. On loan from forward, Madison tries to cross left. Can't do it on Biazzi. Barbier and Shounmi doing battle right there. Shounmi wins the one-on-one. Etu finds Shounmi. He's got some space, one man to beat if he hurries. Trying to race past Nane, no. He backs up and goes to failing. Now Diaz tied up, and a foul is called. The Riverhounds want to push. Rovira through the teeth of the defense. Nice touch. Etu was waiting for it, but Oakland clears it away, at least for the moment. We won't have much by way of stoppage time. Clock continues to tick. Chances limited. Good back pass. It's Etu right down the middle, but he lost it. And Trayvon Reed takes it away. Reed finds his man. Prentice ahead. And Zamudio handles it unfazed. Can Pittsburgh get anything here? Failing. The cross with the right. And Cedeno showing off his footwork. He and Prentice work it out. Reed couldn't take it in cleanly. And a late whistle going on Pittsburgh, and it was Biazzi. So Biazzi converged with Prentice. Here's another look. What'd you see?
Let's, yeah, I think, you know, hey, listen, at this point in the game, everybody's exhausted, everybody's tired, and you make moves for the ball, and then you collide with opponents. I don't think that's any bad intent at that point, just a foul that needs to be called, but nothing more than that.
Rodriguez was trying to meet the ball at the apex, couldn't do so. Here comes Pittsburgh. They've got something cooking on the wing. Blackstock gives up the keys. Chip into the box. Here's Failing. He's got some room. One man to beat. Failing backs up towards the end line. Cross, back touch. Oh, and a save. It was Paul Blanchett. He read it all the way.
Great play from Pittsburgh. A lot of fight from every single player involved. They finally were able to find some room. Prentice with good pressure at that time as well, unable to stop the cross coming in and the back heel. Man, that would have been a beautiful finish for Pittsburgh. But it's Paul Blanchett again. You talked about he's going to make at least one good save every single night. Well, there it is.
Noah Delgado's words, not mine, but I'll take credit for as much as I can take credit for. There he is, Paul Blanchett, in his third season with Oakland. Veteran. Comes up with potentially a match-saving save. Oakland is only a couple of minutes away from extending their unbeaten streak to 4, which would be a season best. Failing just generated that chance. He's on the near touchline, gives it up. Nice pass to Failing. Now Danny Griffin, the Swiss Army knife for the Riverhounds. Clementa clears it away. He's had a really strong performance tonight. Matsoso can't capture the ball cleanly. 2 minutes of stoppage time and a run for the Roots here. Langston Blackstock puts a pause to that and a yellow card. They got Ibarra. So Ibarra looked like he's had a couple of different altercations that may have resulted in yellows, and he avoided those, but here is the replay on how he got his first booking of the night.
Yeah, and easy call, Cedeno a step ahead from Ibarra. And, you know, it's interesting because Ibarra, as much as he can't be involved defensively tonight, I think, you know, the way he was able to move the ball in the middle, it was key for Pittsburgh to just dominate the game in the middle of the field.
Ibarra's third yellow of the year. Here's Cedeno. Doesn't have much space, doesn't need much space. Finds Reed. In a double team, he needs some help and finds it in Barbier. Can Oakland get on the board? Can they walk away with 3 points? Reed tries to penetrate up front, but Pittsburgh's defense stands tall again. Interception. This could be trouble. Show on me with the left and no one home. Tries to chip it up front, and Shawunmi was probably better off keeping it himself.
Yeah, good effort from Shawunmi to recover the ball, a great read. But, you know, at the same time, it's about how do you transition from making a good play defensively to actually having an impact offensively in a counter-attack situation. That time, he didn't have clearly a choice on the right side, and yet he decides to go that way when he had a lot more help on the left side of the field.
So Oakland and Pittsburgh draw. Unbeaten streak swells to 4 for the Roots. And it's now up to 9 for the Hounds.
Yeah, very tactical game. I think for Oakland, it was a struggle for most of the time. For Pittsburgh, a solid performance, especially on the road. You take the point, you move on, and you continue to believe in the system that you're playing with.
No goals, but plenty of action. We're going to break it all down on the other side here on ESPN+.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, empowered all athletes to improve physical health, and expanded health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community, together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
Wouldn't it be great to have delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door? No planning, shopping, or prepping. And what if your delivery was full of plant-based, fresh ingredients that truly nourish and fuel your body? Try Thistle. Our in-house chefs create a new menu each week for you to choose from before it arrives ready to eat. No prep needed. And for a limited time, you can save $100 off your first 4 weeks. So go ahead and autopilot your diet. Get started today at jointhistle.com.
No score, but that doesn't mean that there was no action. Plenty of action here tonight as Oakland walks away with a point against the top team in the East. Pittsburgh, they go on the road and they get a point against a really strong Western Conference team. We'll take you to the highlights now. And again, plenty of action. We go to the first half, 20th minute, and it looked like the Riverhounds had something cooking on Paul Blanchette here.
Yeah, good ball from Ibarra, and you know, he's able to find Kiza in the middle. Takes the left-footed shot that goes just wide. Just 4 minutes later, it's Oakland Roots. They have been able to find for the first time in the game the right combination through the middle with Formella and Pelaez, but the shot right onto Samudio. A great performance from the goalkeeper tonight here for Pittsburgh.
Go to the 32nd minute, and Kenardo Forbes looked like he was in the right place at the right time, maybe a half step late as his header goes wide left, and from there, it was Paul Blanchette keeping that clean sheet intact, but Oakland had a chance. They had another one, and it was Pelaez with the header, and that was about as close as Pelaez got. A very frustrating day at the office for the striker.
Yeah, just because, you know, I think not only for Pelaez, but for Formella and Mfeka as well, they just didn't get enough touches. Here, a good shot from Trayvon Reed. One of 3 shots on target for Oakland tonight. Not the best performance, Brad, but, you know, you take the point. These are 2 top teams, and it's okay for them to have a battle, and for it to end scoreless, it shouldn't be surprising.
4 consecutive clean sheets for the Hounds, led by Luis Zamudio and his USL Championship debut for this season on loan from DC United. Meanwhile, Paul Blanchette, he gets his 7th clean sheet of the season, and that is a new league best. Well, thanks to our producer, Sergio Espinoza, our director, Claudio Tellicher, Jake Barty on replay, Lenin Santos, making it all sound good. Final score, no score between Oakland and Pittsburgh. So for Jose Rodriguez, I'm Brad Klein. We applaud your decision to join us from start to finish. This has been the USL Championship on ESPN+. Thank you so much. Good night, and have some fun, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.